Hi, this is Laylee with In Vivo Leadership Strategies, and this is Integrity Over Scale podcast. Welcome to Integrity Over Scale. My name is Laylee, and I am here with Hector. Hector, how you doing today?
Hello, Dr. Sargani. Great to be here. Thanks for the invite.
So if you have caught Hector calling me Dr. Sedigiani, I actually want to give a quick background of how Hector and I have gotten to know each other. So I was teaching at Cal State Fullerton, and Hector was finishing his MBA, and I was the professor of the capstone class, which was pretty crazy considering that he was brave enough to take it during the summer, which I think it was, what, 6 weeks
It was six
that
weeks.
you
It was a
took it?
fast one. Yes.
Yeah. But this was what, like 2, 3 years ago. And what I love about Hector is he is so great with networking and engaging. He's very human centered. And we became colleagues after I taught. And he's just been such a great soundboard. And so I thought his work with AI and what he's doing with his company would be such a huge benefit. So, with that said, Hector, tell me more about you.
Awesome. Thank you. And yes, it was awesome to be your student. Definitely one of the best classes I had. And yeah, shout out to Cal State Fullerton too. Um, so I started. So I'm originally from Mexico, from Puerto Vallarta, and it's a small beach town. For those that don't know, it's beautiful. And I moved to the States in 2010. Um, I quickly learned that it was important to one, go back to college, and two, um, I like technology, right? So then taught myself how to write code, and then I got involved into just some projects like end-to-end systems. So almost like started like basically I fell in love with technology and I just started building web applications and whatnot. So I went to get my undergrad in information systems, and I found a job at a small firm in Costa Mesa, California, writing code, building plugins back in the day. So then I fell into like Salesforce ecosystem somehow, where I spent, over a decade in that ecosystem on the consulting side. So I played all the roles from consultant, developer, solution architect. I did business analysis as well. And little by little, just got into my specialty was around this product that is called Salesforce CPQ. And it's nothing about other than just configure pricing and quoting and just helping companies come up, deal with their revenue systems. Uh, Fast forward, got the MBA, specializing in enterprise applications. And here I am right now, been working as a director of enterprise applications, AI and automation for a cybersecurity company in San Jose, and also been exploring some AI products by myself on the side as well. That has been fascinating. It's been great to get hands-on experience and just building what right now it's considered kind of like the cool tech. Just like at one point, maybe when Bitcoin came out and the blockchain was, everyone was talking about blockchain and the best skills to have is blockchain. Well, right now here we are with AI as at the center of everything. Um, but I think the coolest thing is that AI is not only touching the tech industry, it's like it's everywhere, and that's one of the things that I'm more fascinated about.
I love that entire background. It's just so fascinating. And one of the things that I think I really love about what you do is while you're in the world of technology, you have such a respect for the human side of management and leadership. So I wanted to also ask you as a follow-up question, what has inspired you to not only follow the world of technology, but also be very wary of the fact that this leadership and human-centered approach is not going to go anywhere?
Mm, wow, tough question, and I think in a much needed question to be asked around, among ourselves, but in leadership. And especially for those that are in a leadership position like myself, it is important to understand that yes, technology is at the center of everything in a sense, but you still need, you're still working with people, right? These people have
Mhm.
feelings, have values, have cultures, have differences. And it is rather than just put them in under the rug and just be like, just keep doing what you're doing. It's more of like truly understand the individual, right? We spend more than 8 hours with our colleagues every single day, right? We almost spend more time with them than with our families. So if you are already there, might as well, one, enjoy the time that you're doing at work too. But two,
Mhm.
like make people who are reporting to you whatnot, make their lives to be, a little more enjoyable, right? Make work a safe place. And there's all these key terms that I think is thrown away where safe environment or EQ and terminology, right? That one you're an expert at. But I feel like not everyone grasp what it really means, right? And what it means to make a safe place is like, well, I just ask you to do this, right? Like, for instance, many times managers or leaders, they're like, oh, just go ahead and do this. And you don't know if that person woke up with a headache, didn't, if that person came with like received bad news from family members that maybe not be in this country or something else, right? Like everyone has their own like baggage and whatnot. And I think it's easier to say, well, just leave home and you're at work now and just leave it behind and just focus on work, right? Like I don't think humans are wired that way. At least that's from my point of view. Uh,
Mhm.
it can go away if we were just to say, "Hey, how you feeling today?" Just that question goes a long way, right? And that means you creating this like safe environment when someone can tell you, you know what, I had a really bad time, or I just received some bad news, family member, or whatnot. And then there's like this like show that allows you to like show empathy for people, right? And what you want to make them feel that you they need to be seen, right? Like you want to make them feel just they're just like other people, right? Like there's nothing else. Like
Mhm.
this like hierarchy thing that is presented that works because it's business and you need to structure in a way and there's certain levels of accountability, but doesn't mean that you will stop being human. And having technology doesn't just make you forget about everything. And just because you
Mhm.
work in tech, you should be working 60 hours a week and you just be quiet and do, right? So I
Mhm.
think I think leaders we forget the importance of we're still working with humans, everyone. I know we're working with AI agents. And yes, those agents don't have feelings, but your human teammates, um, they could give you if especially working remotely, it's even more important to make sure that people feel safe, that they can talk to you, because there's a point that you don't talk to anyone, right? You're in your little block, like your room or your office, and you don't talk to people.
Mhm.
There's no conversations that happen at the coffee when you grab coffee or warming up your food at lunch breaks. Like it's more of like we only talk work stuff in meetings, right? In Zoom meetings. So it's
Yeah.
even more important to be aware that we need that human connection. That's how I got
Love that.
interested in that, yeah.
I really appreciate that. Even with your schedule and how busy you are in the world of technology, and I can hear the listeners hear you and say, well, okay, well, the human centered approach is fine, but when I'm burnt out from technology, I don't even have time to think about all of that. So, my next question to you is how can leaders use AI to serve them well in today's world that's just changing constantly?
Mm, yeah, I truly think, and again, this is just pure perspective, what I've seen, what I've done, right?
Mhm.
I know I don't have all the answers, but I do believe that we need to understand. So a couple of things, and maybe some leaders might not like what I wanna say now, but that's my perspective. So,
Well, you got mine because
leaders
I already like picked in and go. I'm so close to my
yes,
screen now.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, so let me just get clear to the mic so that it's clear out there. Um, leaders right now, what is happening is in many, not everyone, but many, is we have a duty as leaders to truly understand what AI can do and cannot do, right?
Mhm.
And it seems that we just been pushing, and I include myself just as a being part of the leader group in a sense, but many leaders are just pushing what to do and all the accountability to their team members and not getting any of them, right? They don't understand, they don't try to understand AI. They, as a matter of fact, is like go and ask ChatGPT, what should I do, whatever, and then expect that ChatGPT is going to magically tell them all the answers, right? I think
Right.
what they really need to do is just understand that very well yourself. You have to be like there are times where I'm just the leader. I'm the manager. I'll tell you what to do. I think it's over and it's been over for a long time. And I know it's almost like this where I'm the boss. You do as I say. I think it's
Mhm.
sort of coming back in a sense, or at least I kind of seen that. I mean, you do your research, and I think you will agree that you might have seen that as well. But I
Mhm.
feel like AI is it can help you reducing repetitive tasks, right? That's one thing that we know from the fact that AI can do. So that's something that leaders should be aware of, right? Like, okay, reduce repetitive tasks and where can we plug it in? um, I think AI is more for like you have to use to validate your strategy rather than let ChatGPT come up with a strategy for you, right? And what I mean by that is you as the leader, you should be setting the vision and where you want to
Mhm.
go and the hows to a certain extent, right? That's how we set up strategy. What is happening right now is we just basically all leaders are going to ChatGPT and say, give me strategy to reduce or increase revenue. It's like
Mhm.
it's going to be super vague, the answer that ChatGPT or Claude is going to give you, right? So you need
Mhm.
to have a level of understanding of where you want to go, where you want to set the tone. And that's how you can utilize AI to validate and work refining your strategy, not the other way around. I think, and I don't know if I'm making sense of that, but I feel that it's not so like it's obvious when a lot of leaders just copy and paste something from ChatGPT, not only leaders, but other people, where ChatGPT comes up with stuff and they just paste it. And it's obvious for people to understand AI a little more. And there's
Yeah.
like, that was not your strategy, dude. I don't think you're prepared to to set a strategy for something. I don't think you can set a vision for something. I don't even know you understand the impact of what ChatGPT just told you to do, right? Like all of
Mhm.
that, I think is time to get in what I call it my student mode and be like, I'm going to learn what demanding of my employees or direct reports or whatnot. And I want to
Mhm.
really understand, then I can lead, right? It goes back to us as leaders. We need to set the tone. We need to understand that part. Otherwise, it just becomes this of like, ChatGPT said this, I'm gonna do it, and you don't even know the impact, right? So I think that's where people need to start. I think AI is resurfacing the gaps that we have in our professional life, right? And
I'm clapping here. I'm just this is so important. Please keep going. Please
yeah,
say it.
yes, and I know some
Yeah.
people might not like this, but I think it's the reality, right? Like
Mhm.
we can tell immediately where someone will come up and say, oh, this needs to happen, right? Like I can tell, like an example will be like, we need this solution and we need to be implemented um, because it's great, and I think it's great, and I read research, and the word research now is being thrown so like easily, just like, oh, I researched this, and it's like you didn't. You ask ChatGPT and say, did research this, which a lot of
Mhm.
information, but they don't even curate the content that GPT is giving them, right? And again, it could be Claude. It's not only like OpenAI, Paste Me or anything, but any LLM that would just give you information, right? But then you need to still understand. You need to know, like you, as an individual and as a leader, you need to understand what
Yeah.
ChatGPT is telling you, what does it mean to do X and how you going to execute it, right? So I think it's resurfacing a lot the skills, the gaps that we have, and then you're going to get a lot of presentations, a lot of documents. Everything is just being like fast, 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 and almost as if we skip all the best practices, as if they didn't exist, right? And I think that's one of the I just seen it more and more.
Wow. I'm so glad I asked you that question because
Yeah, same.
you are the third person I brought on that talk about AI and how as leaders we keep missing the mark. And one of the big factors that you said, and I 100% agree with it, is that it shows you the gaps. So
Mm,
if a leader can't build a vision, can't uh, take care of their environment at their work, then whatever they're going to feed into AI will amplify that times 100. So if they can't build a vision, they are going to get a general piece of information that everybody has used.
mhm,
Versus, I spent some time in Northwestern to get my AI certification in business strategies, and the dean of the school showed us a prompt that he built to build the curriculum. And it was about, I think, 6 to 10 pages of just, he showed us a Word document, and it was just him using voice memo to prompt what he wanted to say to feed it into their own chats, AI,
mhm.
to basically build the curriculum that we've paid so much money for. So to me, that's someone who understands the vision, who has partnered with AI rather than have AI do the work, which is going to show all of the gaps in their leading and their leadership. It's
I
amazing.
100% agree, and just almost like connecting to the lack of best practices, right? And almost as if we skipped um like we just skip there has to be like an analysis and understanding, and I'm speaking more for like on the consulting side in a sense, right? When you get requirements, how you're going to solve a problem with technology. um
Yeah.
we just forgot that there's like a process that we already had in place, right? And it seems that developers are skipping it, architects are skipping it, and leaders are skipping that too. And I feel that that's just creating a ton. I think it's going to create what I call a tech debt, what we call it in the tech world, where you just build dead technology that you won't be using or won't be useful anymore. And that's, I don't know, I see problematic, that aspect.
This is so good because I want to transition into this question. We're hearing the importance of it, we hear the gap of it. I mean, how can I, as a leader, stay on top of it? Because it's just like it's changing. And now we're talking about quantum, which I know is years away, but when people don't have the information, they are freaking out on how to keep up.
Mhm.
So, Hector, what is your advice for people to stay on top of things?
Yeah. I think the reality is you can't.
Uh,
That's point blank, right? You cannot keep up with AI. Even if we wanted to, and if we were even some of the more like smartest people in the world that actually work with AI and they keep discovering like researchers, right? I don't think they can even keep up, right? Because as you know,
mhm.
in order to keep up with whatever industry that you're working with, you need to learn and read PhDs papers, right? Like people like yourself and other PhDs, they have to write and they have to write and do the research and then present those papers. And we have to keep up. There's so many AI papers coming out almost every day that
Yeah.
we are just not capable of learning at all. We just cannot read, right? We have other duties as well. So even physically, materialistically speaking, it's not possible to read
Mhm.
all of it and just keep up with it. But what I think we can do, depending on, again, what we can and we should be doing is even right now, there's colleagues of mine in technology that might not even, I think by now companies are forcing everyone to use at least ChatGPT. But even up to like a couple of months ago, there were still people after 3 years or 2 years that ChatGPT came out, they're still not using ChatGPT at all, right? Like, it's just like no part
Mhm.
of their work day. And to me, it's like just just stop. Like you're not gonna stop AI. There is a financial bubble and all that. Let that be, right? Okay, like burst, whatever it happens. But
Uh-huh.
you need to get into read about it, read podcasts, use ChatGPT, ask a few questions, ask to give you a recipe for a new pancake recipe, whatever it is, just so you
Uh-huh.
can start seeing and understanding. I feel neglecting I think that's a
Uh-huh.
huge mistake. Like we can't do that. And then if you're in any industry, like just read more about it. If you're like really more you're in tech and you want to get into I want to become an engineer or something like that, which is a little deeper. I want to
Uh-huh.
recommend this book that I think, I don't know, it changed my life the way I see AI to build stuff. And
Uh-huh.
again, they don't pay me, but it's this book, AI Engineering. Really nice, easy to understand. You will be able to build stuff right away and you can
Uh-huh.
understand at least, right? So that will give you truly a glimpse into what's capable, what your I guess AI capabilities are, what you can do with it. So yeah, you can't keep up with everything, but if you haven't yet, just read something, read articles, just use GPT at least,
Yeah.
because denying AI is not going to help anyone. Just period.
And then the book that you shared, it's called AI Engineering, and the author, I want to make sure we say it one more time just so that
The
anyone
yeah,
who's listening can get it.
mhm. So AI engineering, building applications with foundation models, which are like, the Chat, OpenAIs and Claude. And Hewen is the author.
Uh-huh.
It's really good from O'Reilly. Really highly recommended. Really easy book. And if you're more in like technical, you don't know where to start, how to start, that's a great book. Will give you, you might start writing agents right away and be like, oh, this is how it is. And also
Uh-huh.
we have now technology where what it's called, vibe coding, vibing tools where you can just prompt and build applications with it. That will give you at least you can build good applications with good fundamentals as well. So, um, highly recommended if you don't know how to start with that. There's a bunch of Udemy courses too. Just get on it. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm not gonna oblige to AI. It's like just do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, AI has become such a sensitive topic, which, to your point, I don't think it's something you can ignore anymore because tons of companies are now implementing it, and it's a requirement for us to really adjust. And as a change manager, it's very helpful for me
Mm.
to come in now and consult with any companies that are starting to use AI even more because they forget the human centered approach. And so people like me come to make sure that they don't forget the people that are working there. But speaking of people, I want to know, and I want to swap notes with you because I have some as well. What is the number one mistake? And I'll stick to my number one instead of like all several. What is the number one mistake that you see leaders make when it comes to AI?
Yeah, as I mentioned, right, there probably won't be like one mistakes. There's like several.
Right.
I think, so I have three that I kind of point out, and I'm taking, I took some notes, because I wanted to make sure that it's like it hits home, but truly,
Mhm.
in the most, I guess, positive way possible, right? I think for the audience to really just listen to the point of view. Um, I'll remove AI from the skill as the topic, but I still see this as the number one mistake of companies make, and it could be replace AI with any skill, right? Whether it's like again in my industry like Salesforce knowledge or whatnot, but is we always look outward
Mhm.
instead of like promoting from within, right? That's as the leaders. Like I think companies,
Mhm.
I'm fascinated by it. And
Mhm.
with AI, that's being almost like again, AI is being resurfacing a lot of gaps everywhere in processes, in people skills, in people management skills, and in many things. So one of them is companies start looking upward immediately instead of understanding that they might have talent already, right? That's something that is like, is the hot new technology, let's look outward, and then you probably have like great talent there. So that's something that again not AI related but applies I saw that in Salesforce ecosystem where we have this new technology came out and we're like, let's hire a consultant that is like, dude, there's already people testing stuff, building and learning it. Why don't we just give them
Mhm.
that opportunity, right? And it's also, it costs you less from a business perspective, is less expensive to already take advantage. You have your team there, might as well do
Yeah.
something with them and just give them that opportunity. So I say that's, and again, with AI is not different. That's what I want to remove, just AI, but it's a mistake that I'm like, of course with AI is going to resurface it even more, right? So that would be
Mhm.
like, I think number one from a business perspective. And again, leaders run business. I think the second one, I feel like it's moving too fast and again avoiding best practices.
Yeah.
You cannot, especially on the change management side, right? Like
Mhm.
imagine when for I think we forget who's involved, right? When we're telling we need to build we need to build this quickly. Let's put it out there. It's AI, it's great for our sales team, right?
Mhm.
And then our sales team is like, I don't even use this tool. Like I'm always on my phone, right? And then how, in this case, we have our enablement team or change management team. How are they going to go and trying to change their behavior? It's like it doesn't work that way, right? You have to think from the perspective of like, is AI meeting the business need and how it can
Mhm.
work with the team, the people that are going to be using it, right? I think we
Mhm.
tend to forget, or at least leaders right now are forgetting the usability,
Mhm.
how the user or the people are benefiting from it, and does it meet the business requirement or the business strategy, right? I think those are the two things that I'm like, man, just stop just building stuff because it's cool. I
Mhm.
think that's what I would tell. Don't keep making that mistake. Um, and the last one I think is, um, I think I alluded a little bit at the beginning, but
Mhm.
leaders need to educate themselves. You cannot keep demanding AI from your teammates if you do not understand it. Like,
Right.
can't do that. You can't be do this. We need to. And if you read something and be like, oh, now we're gonna use MCPs, and now we're gonna use this, and we're gonna use skills, and then we need agentic systems here, and it's like, dude, like, you don't even know how to define an agentic system, or even an information
Right.
system. Right?
Yeah.
Like you don't even know what an information system is, and you want agentic systems, and like everyone is to chill and be like more accountable and say, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna truly understand, and I'm gonna help enable the rest, and then you can trickle down to enabling, right? So do not lose the sight of the business value that is bringing, but you need to learn. Like you cannot, like in the past with that phrase when people were saying like you can fake it until you make it kind of thing.
Mhm.
AI doesn't let you do that. Like you cannot fake knowing AI.
No.
It's gonna show very
If
quickly.
for our listeners who don't know what agentic AI is, can you just give a quick definition of it too, Hector?
Yeah, so there's this idea of, so everyone started using the term agent, and it's this idea where, so it started with like generative AI, which it generates content, right? So your ChatGPT is is your generative AI. So it generates information. You ask, you prompt it, and it gives you. And prompting is just asking questions, right? So imagine in a search bar, you ask, what are the best restaurants in San Diego or something like that, and then it might do some analysis and it gives information. So, or give me a new pancake recipe, and it will invent one, right? So that's like generative AI, like just generates information. Agentic is the idea of like after that you get that information, you take action. So you allow the computer or an agent to take
Mhm.
action on your behalf. So there's nothing fancy about it. But I think the words are thrown here and there. But agentic is more of like with the information that you receive, I can take actions, and then you can change the actions of
Mhm.
like, so now I'm going to send an email, then from that email create I'm going to create a new document, and from that document I'm going to send it here, and whatever message I receive back, that like I receive your PDS, then I'm going to generate an invoice and I'm going to send it to you, right? So it's almost like automation. It's nothing else than automation that already existed, but
Mhm.
with kind of like some AI decision making there, right? So I guess it's just more about that. Yeah. I hope that
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
clear. And if I'm sure there's a lot of smarter people out there than me and they can give better answers. So please write your comments.
No, I think you did a really good job, and I really like all of the mistakes that you have, and I wanna throw mine in there too with yours because I think the 3 of the ones that you said are perfect. Um, from where I'm sitting too as a consultant in change management, I see almost little to 0 change management when
Oof.
AI is implemented, and I, was just recently listening to, the CTO of, Meta, who is they released the glasses, right? There's no
Uh-huh.
longer Ray-Ban, it's the glasses. So he was talking about why they built it and how they built it and how there was resistance. And as he's answering questions about like why there are resistance, I'm listening to his answers and I'm thinking, I don't think anybody from change management, if you've had change management, really coached you in the right way to respond to these questions. It was like not answering the questions to a certain degree when he was being asked about the AI piece and
Hmm.
what are some of the contradictions. And he was talking about, oh yeah, this glasses. It's very um, it's gonna be, approved by everybody, and the host it was from Morning Brew Daily, if anybody's interested in that podcast, you should listen to it. It was posted on Wednesday the 24th, was asking about, well, wore the glasses and I went and people were looking at me, and so he didn't really have a good answer for that. Um,
Mm.
uh, but all in all to say, I don't that's the number one mistake is to your point, it's going so fast that they are not thinking about the people that are involved in it. They could easily bring people in their company. They can bring more of the change management piece to understand the resistance not only with their internal stakeholders, but their external stakeholders.
Mm.
I don't think that they're doing that. And so I think for us, this actually takes us to our last question, which is, do you have any predictions for
Oh.
where you see AI go in 2027 and beyond?
Yeah, I want to go back just to give a little bit on that change management part, if that's okay with
Yeah.
you, just double clicking on it. So,
Yeah.
what you said is 100% that it's missing enablement in change management. However, though, again, going back, and I think the theme of the conversation is going to be AI resurfaces all the gaps. So I work
Mhm.
in the consulting industry for over 10 years, right? And one of the things that was always missing, so we had a team of specialists, right? So we had the solution architect for revenue operations or dealing with the quoting systems and whatnot. We had the solution architect or developers for what is called Experience Cloud or portals, right, for external customers for this system, and then you have the marketing experts, right? So we have teams. We had a team for change management as well. So we had consultants, change management.
Mhm.
Most of our contracts never wanted to pay for change management.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a very common thing within the tech industry and everywhere else that everyone doesn't truly see the value until everything is a mess. And then when everything is a mess and no one understands what was built, why was built, how we even get about what is the value that we're getting, what is the return on investment and what we've done, then they're
Yeah.
like, we need change management, right? Someone else finally said, so did we get change management to implement this giant solution? The answer is no, because people don't think that way, right? So now we were slower, and by the
Mhm.
time we get to the end to deliver the solution, someone will be like, we need change management people, right? So give us a little bit of time to like change management to catch up and help
Yeah.
us with their team, right? AI, they're skipping
Yeah.
everything now and it's faster delivery, therefore completely out of sight change management, right? Until
Yeah.
it's a mess. And yeah, so anyways, I just want to make sure that I put that there because it's 100% overlooked. 100%. I've seen it. And
Yeah.
even in the organization, we've seen it a little bit too.
I'm glad you double clicked on it because I don't think it's talked about enough. And It's frustrating to me too because, as a consultant, when I'm brought in, to your point,
To
it's when
clean
all
that.
the crazy chaotic mess is there and they're like,
Yes.
"Can you please clean this up?"
Mhm.
And always happy to do it, but idealistically speaking, I should have been involved
From the beginning.
long time ago,
Yes.
before
Yes.
the testing, when the blueprints were being put, you know?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
let's go into our prediction now. Are
Yes.
we good with that? Okay, awesome.
No,
So what do
100%. And
you Okay.
no, no, no. And I'm sorry. And I wanna connect what we just said. So here it
Yeah.
is, my first prediction, right? And
Yeah.
again, predictions are fun. But so what we're gonna see, because of we're missing following best practices, we're skipping change management, and we're making a mistake when we're not educated to make decisions, when we are allowing ChatGPT to set up strategy and everything that we already talked about. First
Mhm.
prediction is we're going to have a massive amount of tech debt and crazy processes being implemented.
Mhm.
And I believe there's going to be a group, which maybe be you and others in change management or other technical teams, that I truly believe there'll be what I call them the cleaners, where
Mhm.
after everyone went to this hype of like, let's just build AI quickly and let's do all these things, we need to get in, we're gonna help, and then they will ask for help. So majority, that's one prediction. What that I feel there's gonna be a time for the cleaners, and it's like bring the cleaners. We made a mess. We were so hyped about AI that we skipped all best practices and we just implemented, and we have a mess, and and we spend this much money. We need to clean it again. So I think that's gonna happen. And the reason I say that is because how easy is to implement solutions or build stuff with AI?
Mhm.
That's a recipe for madness, right? And again, we've
Mhm.
seen it. So that would be the first thing where I don't know if everyone who's in consulting or whatnot, maybe that's time for you to understand truly what's going on, because there will be a lot of
Mhm.
opportunities to clean up the mess. So that's be the first thing. Um, this one is more like immediate, right? Like next year or 2 years. I think that will happen. The other one, and I'm gonna look on something that I wrote this before I heard it recently from another podcast, and and I agree, which is I think the biggest fear is this is a hard one, but oh well. I think the biggest fear from everyone is to be replaced by AI, and
Yes.
the knowledge economy is it's the first one to go, right? And I think we've been hearing it now. It's been 3 years or so. Um,
Mhm.
I don't think it's hard, right? As of right now, I know different there will be different type of roles. Like some roles are evolving into if you were this, now you are something with AI, right? If you are this
Mhm.
developer, now you're AI enabled and you produce more and whatnot.
Mhm.
But as AI, it's evolving and doing and improving significantly. I truly believe that, and again, it's my prediction, everyone. Uh, I truly believe some roles will be heavily impacted, and many roles, not just some.
Mhm.
And it clicked for me in at the end of 2022. So when ChatGPT came out, I think it's around that time, I wrote a script that could implement or at least create something that it would take me hours when I was a consultant. And I wrote a script and I wrote it myself without vibe coding back in 3 years ago, and it was able to do it in a few minutes. And it's
Mhm.
when it clicked for me that I'm like, oh man, there are still consultants using point and click and configuring certain things
Mhm.
that I can write in a script, and it took 2 minutes to build and do exactly the same thing that I can do it. And it did it perfectly because I wrote the script and I know the capabilities, right? And this is like 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago or so. So I believe everyone needs to really pay attention to their careers and the
Mhm.
things that this knowledge economy the knowledge is there now. It's out there.
Yeah.
What people can do to try to counteract a little bit is like knowledge is there, but the way on how you think cannot
Mhm.
be taken by AI. So whether you're doing something, whatever it is, make sure
Mhm.
you either level up on the way you think about something. Your creative
Mhm.
thinking needs to be out there because you cannot rely on knowledge anymore. Knowledge is there. It's just at the fingertips, right? But the way
Mhm.
we think, the way how you think, your critical thinking, your creative thinking cannot be taken away. So just be mindful about that. But it's I truly see that many of our jobs, and especially, and this is gonna hurt some, but or maybe wake up call, however you want to see it. But I've been aware, and I've been making a joke with all my close relatives and friends that I, when I wrote that script, that I'm like, oh man, it used to take me 3 hours to configure this, and now it took me half an hour to write the script, 2 minutes for the script to run. I was like, I'm gonna become an electrician, and I made a joke, but I was half joking all this time. And
Yeah.
yes, I got involved into AI, and because I can see the potentials. And now, one of the products that I'm building and super pumped about is, and I have some beta testers, which is awesome. So thank you for
That's
those that are
great.
testing my product. Um, it's basically a whole delivery team. It is a multi-agent system that can grab a user story or requirement, design, uh, well, check your system first, design the solution, build the solution, test the solution, document the solution, and deploy the solution to your instance. And this is for the Salesforce ecosystem. All of that is because I did all that and I run and build teams that deliver that. So I always work in the delivery side, and I
Mhm.
build a multi-agent system that can do all of it in one shot, right? You
Mhm.
need an architect, you need someone with experience, but um, that's possible, right? And it's here. It's now. It's not in the future. It's like now it's happening, and it's been happening for the past year. I've been working on this, so it's been testing. So
Mhm.
because of that, I truly believe that there are layers that it's going to go away. And the last one is, if you're a middle management, and I'm in management, I'm a director, right? So Steve Jobs used to say this thing, which it may be bothersome out there, but he used to say like middle management, don't hire them. They don't know what they're doing. That's his words, right? Okay, not mine. And I'm paraphrasing here. Uh,
Yeah.
but I believe that the time for middle management just to give direction, like just to say, do this, I think it's out. And in the
Mhm.
next few years, we're gonna see where it's not enough. You need to be able to set up strategy and execute. You can
Yeah.
be you cannot just be there and say, I need to do this, I need to do that. How's that going? Out of this, the I think that's gone. Like with AI, all of that's gone. It's like you need to
Yeah.
come up with vision, strategy, and execute and lead, because that's it. There's no way back. You need to be a leader, and
Yeah.
the people that are gonna be there to help you accomplish your goals will be experts in areas, including AI, of course.
Yeah.
But you need to level up. You need to execute. So sorry for those, but I see it, and again, I'm in that boat as well. And the only way for me is to keep at it as much as I can, but you
Yeah.
need to learn how to execute as well.
Do you have any advice for anybody as we close this podcast?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is like don't miss the human part. It
Mm.
doesn't be kind. Be kind to people. There's so much uncertainty right now,
Mhm.
and in the world, but don't even go in the world like with this AI thingy. Like there's so much uncertainty. Don't forget that. Don't forget we work with people. We're people. We're humans. Um, be kind to one another. I think that's it. Be kind to your teammates. Be kind to your employees. Be kind to. It's free. It's free to be kind. It doesn't hurt.
No.
And so don't lose sight of that. Especially, we will need. we will need human interaction as we progress with AI and more like robotics. And I didn't even touch hardware, like robotics and all that. Like another
Right.
that's even like another level, right? Of like so feel connected. Let's do that. And then for the immediate action, just start learning, read articles, go to Udemy, get a course, go to LinkedIn Learning, like just talk to people, share why you hate AI and why you like AI. Like it's okay. Like it doesn't have to be all like, oh, you hate AI. You are the ones that support AI. It's like I been learning and using and leading teams with, working with AI. And I myself say, guys, I'm not that I like it, right? It's just like, but it's here. We need to do something about it.
A really great, engaging conversation. It's so easy to talk to you, Hector, and I really
Well,
appreciate
thanks.
your time. And where can we find you? Where are you on LinkedIn, on social media?
I'm on LinkedIn. You can look my last name. Maybe we can put it somewhere. So
Yep.
it's LinkedIn's and slash HVSenor. You'll find me, Director of Enterprise Applications. You'll see my face. Connect with me. I always like to talk to people. So connect with me, send a message and be like, yo, I just want to chat. If you want to chat why you hate AI, if you want to chat why you like AI, if you want to chat about projects that you're working on, if you want to talk all things tech, from any system, custom applications, AWS, Salesforce. That's been my area for a long time. I'm happy to talk to anyone.
Thank you. It was great to have you. Just to let the listeners know, please make sure you subscribe, you follow us, and we have a weekly content every week with different topics like AI and leadership and anything from mid level to executive that you would hit in your role. Thank you so much again, Hector. I'm sure we'll have you back and talk maybe part two and the piece that we didn't get to, but
Yeah,
what a pleasure. Thanks so much again.
likewise. Thank you, Professor. Take care.